we're back to this, guys. We're back to the film Listography. It has been a while. It's been too long. So if you're new to the channel, I have a few new subscribers. Thank you. Welcome. It's nice to get back to things again, get back to doing the old videos. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know a lot of what I tend to do, I'm not a collector. I used to be. For my sins, I used to be a manager at Blockbuster. It was my favourite job I've ever done, believe it or not. But I used to have a massive movie collection, had to get rid of it when I moved from Ireland to England. Then I moved back from England to Ireland again and basically just cut a lot of stuff. But I find, apart from favourites, I don't tend to watch movies very many times. So it's kind of a false economy for me to have a massive movie shelf when I'm not going to really watch them if they're not favourites. But in saying that, I don't really tend to have much room. I have a son who has shit everywhere, not literally, who has got stuff everywhere. I don't live there in, my house is pretty small, so I tend to prefer collecting things like memorabilia of movies rather than movies. So if you're new, unfortunately, like movie hauls and stuff's not something you're going to see here. I pretty much just waffle, talk about what I've seen, talk about what I think of movies. I take you to the cinema with me sometimes to talk about the movie I've just seen in the car afterwards, and occasionally we do little things like this. So this book is I love this book. This is a book of all different movie lists, so just let's flick through. List the best movie moments of all time, I have done that one. List movie stars you can't stand, I've done that. List musicals or music related films you want in your ultimate collection. List your favourite comedies and their funniest moments. List your favourite foreign films. So I've actually done all of those ones. I'm working through this. Some I haven't done, like there's one movies from the 30s and 40s. I haven't seen enough movies from the 30s and 40s to do a list. So let's harness Marcus and have a slurp. Hi Marcus. X-File 2708 channel, if you don't know. If you don't know, get on it. So today I am going to do list movie moments you wish you were an extra in. The example, they always give you a little example. Today it is the concert scene in The Doors. Yeah, fair enough. I was never a massive Doors fan, very talented and all that, but bloody nice on the eye, that has to be said. But yeah, not a bit too trippy for me. Prefer a bit of good old like traditional rock music. So I have 10 movie moments here, and one's a bit of a cheat because it's kind of like a concert. Like I would have liked to have been in the audience of a concert. Anybody that knows me well will know exactly who it is. So I've got 2 special mentions before I start my list. One of these I apologise in advance for it, and it's a bit it's a bit, yeah, Google may have some people search this word in a minute. This was actually suggested to me by someone else to put this in this list, and they thought I wouldn't, and I thought, you know what, of course I will. A fluffer on The Witcher. That to me would be job satisfaction.
Fuck.
If you don't know what a fluffer is, go have a Google. I am a fluffer on The Witcher. That's the epitome of just dreams and wishes for me. So the other special mention, I jest of course, but Jesus wept, can you imagine?
Oh, fuck.
The other one is, anyone in the UK will probably be aware of a DVD that was released called An Audience with Billy Connolly. Now, anyone that knows me well knows Billy Connolly is one of only 2 idols I've ever had in my life. The other one makes a mention in this list too. I adore Billy Connolly. I can quote his concerts, his jokes back at, you know, just start to end, it's ridiculous. That's one of my favourite DVD releases of his stuff. It's where the audience is full of a lot of famous people cracking up. The jokes are just on point. He is at the top of his career. He is amazing. I love it. So yeah, I would have loved to have been in that audience of An Audience with Billy Connolly. So that's my 2 special mentions. We're watching Billy Connolly and we're fluffing up Henry Cavill.
Oh, fuck.
Can't be bad to that. So, mind out of the gutter, folks. Number 10. These are in no particular order, just as they occurred to me. So number 10 on my list, you have to be, as a horror fan, a zombie in something. It has to be. Now, I absolutely adore The Walking Dead, but let's stick to films here. I'm going with Zombie Flesh Eaters Zombie 2 because I prefer Fulci to Romero. I know that's not a popular choice, but he just appeals more to me. I don't know what that is, but could I have been crawling out of that grave at the start, just generally, or even in the shopping centre in Dawn of the Dead, wandering about the place? But I'd prefer Zombie 2. So Fulci, yeah, big thumbs up. So a zombie, please, thank you. Number 9 is an Irish film called Grabbers. If you haven't seen Grabbers, it is an Irish comedy horror. It's very funny, it's well worth a watch. Check it out if you haven't seen it. There, obviously being an Irish person myself, you've probably noticed, there is a scene in Grabbers set in a pub where it's just so tongue-in-cheek and stupid. I love it. The Irish have a bit of a reputation for liking their alcohol, and we find in this movie that monsters that are besetting this little village have an aversion to alcohol, and they will not eat you if you are drunk. So what happens? We have a lock-in in this pub and everybody gets pissed, and it's so quintessentially Irish, and I feel that the characters are so typically Irish. The script is spot on. I feel that this movie gets Irish people perfectly as far as I'm concerned, and their sort of like lack of reverence and their enjoyment of fun and their cheekiness, and I love it, and I would love to be an extra in that pub scene getting pissed in the corner. So there we go. Number 8 is an extra in the pub scene in Grabbers. That was number 9, sorry. Number 8 is, now this is one of my favourite movies of all time, so I had to try and think of somewhere they could have shoehorned me in here. Silence of the Lambs, please. Either have me as a victim, have me as a corpse somewhere, or can I be training with Clarice at the beginning in the military place? Although the idea of me trying to haul my fat arse over one of those things that she does, but I love the film so much. I would love to be in Silence of the Lambs. Absolutely love it. So anywhere, I'll do anything. Stick me in Silence of the Lambs, please. Number 7. Right, this is a bit controversial now, because you're not allowed to talk about movies that certain people that have lost their reputation are in, but I'm going to talk about it because the movie's amazing. It's The Usual Suspects. I won't give away who Kaiser Soze is, but we spend most of this movie trying to work out who Kaiser Soze is. And there is a scene right at the end where we find out who he is, and it's one of those reveals that I've talked about this before. Some reveals in movies just send shivers from your head to your foot, and it's very rare, but you get a physical reaction, and I had a physical reaction to this. It was the same when John Kramer got off the floor at the end of the first Saw movie, that physical, oh my god, that you didn't see coming. So when we see Kaiser Soze at the end of The Usual Suspects, he's walking along the street and something happens, something corrects itself. I want to be on that street scene. I want to be walking past him, just on that scene where we have the actual final reveal and we lose our shit and we're like, oh my god. Yeah, that scene, because it's one of my favourite movie scenes ever. I love it. Number 6. This is another bit of I don't know what it is these days. You're not allowed to like certain movies. See no evil, hear no evil. This is my favourite comedy movie of all time, still. It has been since I first saw it in my early teens. Dave and Wally are in the police station. If you haven't seen it, I feel like, do I need to tell you what this is about? Surely the world has seen this. See No Evil, Hear No Evil is about a blind guy and a deaf guy who have witnessed together a murder. One of them has seen it but not heard it, and the other has heard it but not seen it. And together they are in the police station. People think they have something to do with it. And there's a very famous scene where Gene Wilder is being hauled backwards. Somebody has just told them they have the mens rea, which I didn't know mens rea is a legal term meaning is it the intent to do something? I can't remember. Anyway, it's a legal term, mens rea. And he's been dragged off by a policeman into the background shouting, mens rea! Mens rea! How could this happen? I've always worn a condom. Now, forever that makes me cry with laughter when you've seen the scene, when you know the scene I mean. I want to be in that police station for that scene. I could be a hooker, being questioned, or when they're trying to take the picture, the mugshot, but he doesn't know that he should be facing front because he doesn't know what way is front, and there's a female police officer taking his photograph. that female police officer. I'm pretty much trying to say any part of Say No Evil, Hear No Evil. You know what? Both of those movies have got Kevin Spacey in. That's why you're probably not allowed to like them, but there you are. So yeah, police station scene for Say No Evil, Hear No Evil, please, because it's just one, it just cracks me up. I just love it. Doesn't matter how many times I've seen that, I still laugh at it. Number 5, right, this to me is not my favourite movie of all time, but it's up there because I think this movie is as close to perfect as you can get, and that's Back to the Future. Mike, yes, you're right. So I've answered kind of similarly for number 4 about a different movie. So I've written In the Diner or At the Dance. So we have the famous scene at the dance where Michael J. Fox is playing what will be future music for the youth of the past. And he's like, maybe you're not ready for this just yet. There's that. So you could be a member of the audience watching him. Or in the diner at the beginning when he goes in and asks for a tab and he's wearing this little red inflatable, not inflatable, they think it's an inflatable, they think he's a sailor. Or in the street when he's like on a skateboard to The Power of Love by Huey Lewis in the news. Any part of Back to the Future. I'm going to say diner or dance. So the reason I didn't really want to say dance was the next one. Absolutely 100% positively in the final dance for Carrie when she goes to the prom with, what's his name? I've forgotten. Guy with the curly hair. He takes her to the prom and the plan is for everyone to laugh at her, as her mother says, they're all going to laugh at you. One of the best fucking female roles ever. Carrie was fantastic, but her mother, terrifying in that movie. So when shit kicks off and Carrie goes a bit mad at the end, I want to be one of the people in that dance hall that gets flung against the wall, that gets wiped out. So yeah, number 4 is the dance, the final dance, final prom in Carrie. Got 3 to go, folks. I'm trying to get through these as fast as I can. We all do. I know I do like a waffle. Gonna have another slurp, Marcus. So number 3 is very simply a character in a Saw trap. Saw is my favourite horror franchise. I'm not saying the Saw movies are amazing. I'm saying they very much appeal to me and my warped sense of justice. I don't like people getting away with shit. It annoys me. So the thought of people being punished for being arseholes appeals to me on a massive level. The first Saw movie is just perfection. I love it. The rest get gradually not as good as we go to. I still love them, don't get me wrong. So I would like to be a character in a Saw trap. Some of the Saw movies, the characters in them, we don't really know that much about. You're probably thinking, but that's not an extra, Lisa. No, it's not an extra, but some of the characters we don't really get to know. We don't know anything about them. Put me in one of them traps. Show me like something really gory. Yeah, well, I would enjoy that. Number 2, this is one of the cheats. This is concert footage. I would like to be in the concert footage for a DVD release of any Queen concert in existence. Not Live Aid, because that's not a Queen concert. That is obviously loads of different bands. There's one Queen at Wembley, which is absolutely awesome, which I loved watching growing up. But to be captured in the audience at a Queen concert watching my other idol, Freddie Mercury, would just be the epitome for me. Freddie died when I was too young to have ever seen Queen. So I never was lucky enough to get to see them. I've loved them my whole life. And to be lucky enough to be in the audience and to be captured in the audience, I'm very envious of anyone that's ever managed that. So yeah, audience for a Queen gig is my number 2. It's a bit of a cheat, I know, but and finally, when someone said to me, list movie moments you wish you were an extra in, this one always comes to mind first. This is the top of my list. Is it my favourite film? No, I love it, but I would absolutely adore, and I know being female it wouldn't happen, but I want to be an extra in the fight scene in Braveheart when the Irish turn and fight with the Scottish. I remember watching this in the cinema, and in the UK and Ireland, I think we're pretty much of a muchness. We're not like an American audience. We're not very reactionary. People don't tend to react to things very much. You'll get the odd chuckle and laugh here and there, but on the whole, people just aren't reactionary whatsoever. You don't get like celebration scenes or anything like that. You don't get standing ovations. We're very, I don't know, stiff upper lipped. I don't know what the word is, but I watched this in Belfast, and when the Irish turned with the Scottish, the entire audience erupted in cheers and everyone was clapping, no one saw it coming. And I still remember that, and I loved it. Just to be part of that. I remember at the time Braveheart was pretty rough going. Those fight scenes were pretty innovative. You know, you saw a lot more than you would ever see in that kind of scene before. I know since that we've had much better, but Braveheart is a big favourite of mine, and I would absolutely adore to be in that melee of just charge towards the other side. So yeah, there we go, folks. That is my top 10 with 2 special mentions. One a bit tongue-in-cheek obviously, but I don't know, any chance to mention Henry Cavill, I'm gonna do it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if there's any list you'd like to see me do, if there's anything, not even from this book, if there's anything you would like to see me talk about. I have a lot on my channel, like my favourite actors, actresses. I think I've even got one of my favourite bands. All sorts of things on there if you go back far enough. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I shall be back hopefully soon with another couple of movies that I've watched. Until then, over and out from Lisa Loves.